You know those moments when you learn something or find out a new piece of information and suddenly everything clicks. Things start making sense. Well, that's happened to me on my midlife weight loss journey. Honestly, I had no idea that there's this one measure that I should be looking at. It helped me understand why my progress hadn't shifted and why I needed to approach health in midlife very differently from what I'd been trying for decades. So in this video, I'm going to share how understanding my body was more helpful than I could ever imagine, and the mindset shifts and practical medical support that helped me pivot on my midlife weight loss journey. So for about a decade now, I have been frustrated at my progress for losing weight. It didn't matter what I tried, all the normal things that one would try, and it was very hard to shift, or it would come back on again even after I shifted it. We all know that women in midlife start to have a decrease in bone density, decrease in muscle, and also the hormones play havoc on our metabolism. So naturally in midlife, I decided it was time to get some of the health scans that you should be getting. I got my breast scan, I got a bone density scan, but I thought, while I'm at it, why don't I get one of those full body scans at my gym? Now there's lots of figures in there, but the one number that I didn't really look at, because I assumed that I knew what was going on, all the little health apps, etc., was telling me what I needed to know. But the one number that I didn't really look at was my metabolic rate, or my basal metabolic rate. And when I looked at it, I realized there was something very different about mine. It was lower than what was typical for women of my age, height, and weight. Oh my gosh, that explained so much. I'd been calculating my calorie intake based on the typical figures that you saw, if you looked it up on Google or in a health app. But when I actually looked at what mine was, it was different. And that meant I'd been doing everything incorrectly for such a long time based on the wrong figure. Oh, it was hard. I felt a little bit defeated at the beginning. But then I thought, hold on, this information is really powerful. I can use it to actually change the way I approach things. So I worked out really that it was really important to understand my body and work with it, not against it. So being armed with that new piece of information meant that I had to make a major mindset shift. I realized that I'd been thinking that I was starting at the same level as everybody else, but I was starting from a way behind over there. It also meant that there was definitely no quick fix, and it might take me a lot longer to do what I need to do. That's okay. So I decided to do something that I'd been avoiding for years, and that was actually investigate medical assisted weight loss. My doctors weren't keen on it because I didn't tick all the sort of criteria for medical assisted weight loss, which is bizarre. I think I'm the healthiest overweight person in the world because I thought that I'd be a perfect candidate, but I wasn't. So I actually accessed it via the Juniper program. And I'm not going to advertise it here because I'm actually not sponsored by them. I'm just sharing a tool that I've investigated. And I absolutely recommend you get health advice for your own journey. But I thought I would investigate the program. So I started taking like one of those EpiPen type things where you'd have like a shot a week. And I was using Wegovy. I think that's how you say it. Not as a shortcut, but as a support tool. So I'll share a little bit of that journey. It was quite amazing. I had it, and within 24 hours, I could actually feel the effects, but I know not everyone has that experience. There were some symptoms, a bit nauseous, I felt really tired, but I thought I would push through it. And I'm so glad that I did, because what I noticed is that it was actually cutting the food noise in my head, that constant background thought about it. How, what's my next meal? Am I going to go out tonight? Oh, I'm so hungry. I've not eaten much all day at work. It really helped manage those hunger pangs and those cravings that used to derail me. So I'm going to have a look at my notes because I want to explain to you the science behind it. It activates something called a GLP-1 receptor in the brain. And that's what helps regulate your appetite and hunger. It reduces hunger signals, it increases feelings of fullness, and it reduces cravings. And that's absolutely what was happening for me. And I felt like it was happening quite quickly. And I will say it doesn't happen quickly for everybody because we all react very differently to it. So being armed with this new information about my basal metabolic rate, it helped me actually relook at my calorie intake and also not worry about all the thoughts and feelings around food. I also continued with my gym and cardio program. That was not easy. I really found it hard to get motivated to do that. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, I have another video that you'll see at the end of this in the last page that you can link to. And that will share some of the mindset and habit change tips that I was using to go on that journey. But with a combination of those things, I've actually, after 3 weeks of both the gym program and the medical assisted weight loss, I've lost 4 kilos. So I've actually achieved my milestone in 3 weeks, which has been fantastic. So you've probably got a lot of questions about it, and I'd say best thing to do is do your research. But for me, I have a few tips that help me actually deal with the transition of having this medication. I had it before I went to bed because once I knew that it made me nauseous, I thought I'll just sleep off some of the side effects. I had to increase my water intake, which has been a struggle because I used to love having a Coke Zero or a Coke. But now I've had to swap all that out to keep drinking lots of water. I have to increase my fiber. That's been a challenge. Not going to talk about that. And I have to keep exercising even if I'm tired. And now that I've done 3 weeks of my program, I actually know that the endorphins that I get actually are a game changer and really help my mood. So I'll keep going with that. It's not always easy, but the payoff has been worth it. So what has been my biggest lesson so far on this midlife weight loss journey? It has been, you can't fight your body, you have to listen to it. Getting the tests can be scary, and a lot of the tests that we have to get in midlife are really important for our health. But getting this extra test from my gym was so helpful. It gave me a lot of information. It was information that was scary and confronting, but I've learned that you have to listen to your body even when it's telling you all the bad stuff that's wrong with you. It really is important information to help us make the changes that we need. So if you're on your own midlife weight loss journey, please be kind to yourself. It's tough. Learn your body. Work with it, not against it. If this video really resonated with you or was helpful in any way, hit like and subscribe for real talk and practical tips that will help you thrive in midlife.